Good afternoon, everyone. I am C. Ankit Sharma, your income tax faculty for this revisioning paper. So this gives me actually immense pleasure to be interact with the future of our country, those who are going to support our country to become third economy in the world very soon. So I also thanks to ICAI, BOS, and all the coordinators who are working very hard to do all this work, all this hard work, providing you these kind of classes. Look, ICI and DOS is providing you the live classes, and this is for your betterment. They're also providing the revisionary classes before your examination. So we should thanks to the ICI and DOS. And now today we will discuss the basic concepts of income tax. The first chapter, the basic concept chapter. I will handle all your queries related with chapter number 1. I've already seen that some students are already sending queries regarding GST or regarding meaning of VAT or meaning of barter. Please do not ask these kind of queries, students. It's my humble request to all of you. I will take all your queries one by one, of course, which is related to our topic. Fine, today topic is basic concept, the chapter number 1, which is divided technically into 3 parts. If you have gone through with the live classes, of course, you must have gone through with the normal classes, which has been provided to you earlier. And you must have gone through the provisions also. So you can see that this chapter has been having 3 different kinds of part. First part related to the basic concept of income tax, like introductions, like the definitions part. What is the meaning of person? What is the meaning of individual, Hindu undivided family, association of person, body of individual, etc. The meaning of previous year, assessment year, the meaning of assessee, the definition of income, the concept of income, as well as some black money cases. Those cases in which your undisclosed money, if it has been fined by the department, what should be treated as the previous year. And there are some cases, generally under income tax, the income earned by you in the previous year, which is for our examination purpose, which is going to be held in January 2025. Our previous year is 23 and 24. And the assessment year is 24 and 25. So general rule is this: if you have earned any income in previous year 23-24, that I mean from 1st April 2023 till 31st March of 24, in that case, your tax need to be paid in assessment year, that is 24-25. So that is a general rule, but there are some exception also, in which the income of previous year need to be assessed in the same year. That is for non-resident shipping business, person about to leave India permanently, in case of discontinued business, etc., etc. I believe you must have gone through with the normal classes, so you must have gone through with all these provisions. I will discuss any query out of these provisions also. So I was talking about the chapter. So the chapter consists of these kind of what? Introduction part, legislation part, why income tax imposed in India, how it has been imposed in India, the definition part, etc. The second part, which is very, very important, that is rate of taxes, in which we discuss the rates of taxes. We have now 2 regimes. You all know that. We have default tax regime under section 115 BAC. And we have one optional tax regime also. So we have different kind of slab rate in these 2 options, default and optional tax regime. Then we have surcharge provisions also. And then we have cess provisions also, health and education cess. And with all these things, we have now rebate also under sections 87A. So rebate also make these things more complicated, and I believe these are more interesting. The complicated things makes things interested to the intelligent people, because you need to work hard to understand that, what a general person cannot understand. So we have rebate, we have surcharge, we have cess, we have rate of taxes, and these are also for individual different categories. And we have partnership firm, LLP, cooperative societies, company tax rate also. And with this, all of these things, now we have a concept of marginal relief also, which is technically making these things more complicated, or you can say more beautiful. From my point of view, it is more beautiful because we have to understand a lot of things. And the third part. So the second part, which is regarding surcharge, taxes, etc., is mainly focused on the numerical treatment of calculation of tax. But this chapter does not calculate tax completely. We have a separate chapter, I guess chapter number 9, which is for total income calculation and computation of tax liability, in which we understood the complete structure, how to calculate tax. You must have gone through that chapter also, because we have not that special rate of income in this basic concept chapter. We have a special rate for section 111A income, then 112 income, then section 112, then casual income, then TDS provision, then advanced tax provision. So those provisions are also going to be discussed in chapter number 9. But this chapter 1 gives you a view regarding the tax structure of our country. Then the third part, which is agricultural income provisions. So agricultural income is exempt in our country, but what is the meaning of agricultural income? How we find out that that particular income is an agricultural income or not? And there is a concept of partial integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income. When you are fulfilling certain specific condition, we have composite business concept also. So this is the chapter overview. We will discuss all the provision. I have also prepared MCQs for every part of this chapter. We will discuss all illustration and question from your study material. We will discuss test your knowledge question from this chapter also. All kind of things going to be undertaking during this revisionary class. And you can ask me your query also. I will try it कि थोड़ा सा हम पार्ट हिंदी में भी कवर करें. So those student who are more comfortable with हिंदी, उनके लिए भी थोड़ा सा easy हो जाएगा. उसके लिए हमने एक चीज की है कि जिसको भी हिंदी में अपनी क्वेरी का आंसर चाहिए, वो अपनी क्वेरी हिंदी में पूछ सकता है. तो जो भी आप क्वेरी हिंदी में पूछेंगे, मैं उसका आंसर आपको हिंदी में दे दूंगा. और जो इंग्लिश में ऑफकोर्स पूछेंगे, बाकी हमारा टॉपिक जनरली इंग्लिश में ही कवर होगा. एंड बिकॉज दिस टॉपिक इज टेक्निकली रिलेटेड टू न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट लाइक रेट ऑफ टैक्सेस एटसेट्रा. So there is no difference. You are a Hindi medium person or English medium. Rates of tax etc. are same for each and every one of you. Clear? So let's get started. So again, somebody is asking about the GST. Tushar, I request you, please understand this is revisionary class for basic chapter, for basic concept number 1. Okay. So we will take the query related to chapter number 1. Let me share my screen with you. And there is very interesting provision regarding the surcharge provisions. They are so complicated to understand, but I have made a specific diagram to make you all understand the surcharge provision in a very easy way. So before starting that surcharge provision, let us discuss some rate concept with you. Then we will move on to the surcharge provision. Then I will take up the rebate concept. So one by one, we are taking all these things together. And you can ask me your query. So whatever query will be there, I am going to answer. But please, it's a request from my side. Query should be related to the topic and it should be a sensible query. Fine. We are discussing assessment year 24-25 provisions. As ma'am has discussed, ma'am has given you a very beautiful explanation, very wonderful discussion about the strategy for your examination, from where you can find the notes and the updates from the institute website, etc. So please follow those things, because in this journey, we all are with you. And our focus is just one thing, that you should be successful as soon as possible and be the part of our fraternity. So I welcome you all again, and let's discuss. And I will upload these notes. I have prepared all the notes based on your study material. For basic concept, it has covered each and everything in a very simplified manner from your study material. All the illustration, test your knowledge question, etc. that we are going to discuss with the study material. Every other thing has been included in this topic, including the charts also for surcharge, etc. Right? Before that, let me start with the rates provisions, because I want to explain the rates provision in a short way. Then we will start solve MCQs. So you will have the better understanding to find out how to solve a question regarding the rates of tax structure. So we have two options. We all know that is section 115 BAC. That is our default tax regime. Please, I request you all, whenever there is a question, and if the question ask you to calculate the tax, please read carefully whether they are asking to calculate tax as per default tax regime or optional tax regime, as per section 115 BAC, or opting out from section 115 BAC. Because if there is a question, if you did not read it properly and you solve the question, you calculate the tax as per optional tax regime, but in the last line, it has been written that you have to calculate the tax as per section 115 BAC, then all your effort will be null. So please, question पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है. जब तक problem identify नहीं होगी, you are not able to find the correct solution. तो प्लीज जब भी क्वेश्चन टैक्स कैलकुलेशन का है, और ये इनकम टैक्स में एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग अंडर इनकम टैक्स, दैट इज जो हम बेसिक कंसेप्ट में पढ़ते हैं ना, अंडर आवर बेसिक कंसेप्ट, दैट मींस we are talking about chapter number 1. So under basic concept chapter number 1, we have a provisions of integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income, that we will discuss. Okay, integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural income. Now what is the problem when you are at chapter number 9, that is calculation of your tax liability? And if there is income has been given in the question, suppose Mr. A is earning income from salary business, 20 lakh. It will be a full paragraph that Mr. A is working in this company, is getting basic salary, HRA, then ye perquisite, wo perquisite, ye allowances, wo gratuity, etc. So suppose the full salary comes to 20 lakh rupees, and there is some interest income also given in the question, like 2 lakh rupees. That will also be in a complete paragraph. And there will be deductions, provisions, might be deductions available, and other information. So that will be a almost half page of the question in your examination. And there might be a single line at the last. It has been stating that he has also an agricultural income of rupees 1 lakh. Just a single sentence, just a 6 or 7 word sentence, that Mr. A also having agricultural income of 1 lakh rupees, and you ignored it. If you ignored it, let me tell you, your effort will be going to be waste. And you can see that this provisions is going to be connected with chapter number 1 provision. Because now this is a case of integration of agricultural income with non-agricultural. And it generally happens because now from basic concept chapter 1, we have completed residential, then salary, then house property, then PGBP, then TDS, then set off, then deductions, then this and that. So at the time when we are discussing the last chapter, we might be not able to recall the provision regarding the integration. We might think agricultural income, okay, that is exempt from tax, so leave it. But no, in this case, the integration provision will be there. So tax liability should be connected as per the basic concept chapter number 1. Generally, student thinks chapter 1 is irrelevant. There is nothing to understand now, because it's very easy. इसमें है क्या? Definition है person की, HUF की definition है, assessment year, previous year, rates of tax हैं वही 2,50,000, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, बस 115 BAC, rebate, surcharge, वो तो हमें आता है. And agriculture income, ठीक. But this is the beauty of income tax. This is the beauty of, you can say, this subject. This is the subject for which Einstein said this is the most difficult subject in the world. Yeah, this is a true thing. Albert Einstein has said that income tax is the most difficult subject in this world. So according to him, it's not difficult. Actually, he was not having any interest understanding these kind of provision. He's interested in science. But he said because it is difficult, because he was not interested to understand. So keep your interest awake in your subject, in your career, in this course. So that will make things easy for you. So this is so cleverly that chapter 9 provision has been connected with chapter 1. And this is everywhere under income tax. Provisions are interconnected to each another. So that's why as a whole, when you understand the whole provision, you can reconnect it and you can find the correct tax liability. Okay, so I'm just trying to tell you that it is chapter 1, but does not mean that it is not important. Everything is important in your subjects, whether it's income tax, accounts, or each and everything is important. Do not go for selected study. It's my humble request and a suggestion to all of you. So we were discussing about the rates of tax basic concept. What is the rates of tax? So section We have a default tax regime. We have a optional tax regime. First of all, we are taking optional tax regime. And then we will have our default tax regime provision. So I'm discussing in very short. So when we will start solving our question, so you can understand why and how we are calculating the tax. This is section 115 DAC. Clear? Now, optional scheme says that in case of individual HUF, AOP, BOI, and AJP. Fine. I just try to make you explain how to calculate tax with a very simple trick. Suppose there is a money train. This is my money train, okay? This is my money train. This is my income train. It's kind of a train. So up to starting 2.5 lakh rupees. This is my first station. The first station is 2,50,000 rupees. So under optional tax regime, up to 2,50,000 rupees, there is no tax. So if my money train having first station, if I am earning income up to 2,50,000 rupees, then technically there is no tax. Clear? Then the next 2,50,000 rupees. The second station is, that was my first station. Now the second station is up to rupees 5 lakh. So that means the balance amount between these two stations are 2,50,000. So if any income falls in this part, in the second station and first station gap, that is going to be taxable at 5% rate. Any income, whether you are an individual, HUF, whether you are a senior citizen or etc. If any income falls under this category, under this, then there will be a tax rate of 5%. After the second station, the third and the last station is when income will be 10 lakh rupees. Clear? So between this 5 to 10, there is now a gap of 5 lakh rupees income. So if anything falls between this, that is going to be taxed at the rate of 20%. And if anything goes after this, this is going to be taxed at 30%. So this is my trick to make you understand in short that how we need to calculate tax. Now suppose we have to now learn one more thing. What is the exemption limit for which person of category? So if you are a senior citizen having an age of 60 years or more, or up to less than 80 year, up to 80 year any time, then in this case, the tax rate will be, exemption will be 3 lakh rupees. So 2,50,000 for others. So if you are a senior citizen, then you can take the benefit of first exemption of 3 lakh rupees. And if you are a super senior citizen, that is 80 year or more, at any time during the previous year, then the benefit is rupees 5 lakh rupees. So if you are just remembering this concept, you not need to read or remember the specific tables for each category. Now understand how easy to calculate tax now. Suppose there is Mr. A whose age is 45 years and who is resident, having an income of 7 lakh rupees. So now what I need to do, he falls in this category, 2,50,000. You must have gone through all these kind of provision. So out of his 7 lakh, 250 will fall in this category. So there will be no tax. Out of this 7 lakh, now 250 will fall in this category. So automatic, the tax rate will be 5%. So the tax will be 12,500. Out of the 7 lakh, now 250 has been used over here, 250 has been used over here. So balance will be only 2 lakh rupees here. So that is going to be taxable at the rate of 20%. So that will be our tax. 40,000 plus 12,500. That means 52,500 will be tax. Clear? Suppose if he is a senior citizen, age is 65 years, resident, then for him, the basic exemption is up to rupees 3 lakhs. So out of this 5 lakh, only 2 lakh is going to be taxable at the rate of 5%. So that will be 10,000. Balance 2 lakh rupees going to be taxable at the rate of 20%. That is 40,000. Understand? So this is the process by which you can understand how the slab rate will work in case of optional tax regime. If you are a non-resident, then in that situation, always 2,50,000 limit will be applicable. So let me show you the provision with the help of the notes. So these are the basic concept you must have gone through with the union list, the overview of income tax in India. What are the clauses, subsection, section process that has been, of course, discussed with you in a normal live class. The charge of income tax, the process of calculating the income under various heads of income, the format, how to calculate, etc. So this is the first part what we were discussing, which is more theoretical, but it is also important. Even if it's theoretical, it is important because do not underestimate the power of the theoretical provision. We have AMT also that is going to be discussed in chapter number 9, of course. Important definition regarding individual, HUF, partnership firm, company, domestic company, widely held company, closely held company, etc. We have all these kind of provision like what is previous year, assessment year, assessee definition. The person is leaving India where income is going to be taxed in the same year, undisclosed source of income, what I was telling you earlier also. The definition, concept of income. That was the first part. We are discussing about the rate of tax provision. So the rate of tax diagram is over here. So these are rates of tax. So this is the table we were discussing with the help of a diagram earlier. So first 250 is exempted for these category of person. Then for if you having age of 60 year or more, but less than 80 year, then 3 lakh rupees. And if the age is more than 80 year or equal to 80 year, that is called super senior citizen. Then the exemption of first 5 lakh is tax free. We have a special rate of taxes also that is going to be discussed later in the chapter, of course, regarding capital gain, etc. Now, it's a very important clarification. I believe that you must have gone through with this clarification under normal class, which says that if someone is having his birthday on 1st April, so on 31st of March, if somebody is attaining the age of 60 year on 1st April, so on 31st March, the one day that is before that day, the 31st of March, whether he will be considered as a senior citizen or not. So the answer is yes. If someone's birthday falls on 1st April, then on 31st March, for the purpose of income tax, it will assume that he has achieved that age. You can understand with the help of an example. If a resident individual, you can see if a resident individual whose 60th birthday falls on 1st April 2025 would be treated as having attained the age of 60 year in the previous year 24-25 and would be eligible for higher basic exemption limit of 3 lakh rupees and so on accordingly for the person having attaining an age of 80 year also. We have a rebate concept also, and if the rebate concept says you can avail a discount up to 12,500 rupees or amount of tax, whichever is lower in case of optional tax regime. This is only available for an individual who is resident of India. We have some example also, like suppose if you have an income of 2,60,000, age is less than 60 year, you are having income of 2,60,000, so your tax will be 500. And you can claim the rebate also up to rupees 500. So if your total income does not exceed 5 lakh rupees, then you can claim a rebate maximum the amount of tax or 12,500 rupees as the case may be. I will upload these notes so you can download it from the portal also. Suppose somebody having income of rupees 5 lakh, exactly 5 lakh rupees. So in that case, his tax will be 12,500. Clear? And he or she can claim the rebate of 12,500 rupees complete. So tax liability will be nil. In case of senior citizen, the super senior citizen cannot claim this rebate. Rebate will be providing before calculating cess. We have multiple surcharge rate. Let me tell you, the most difficult thing in the basic concept is two topics. To understand what surcharge rate should be applicable to calculate tax, and the second is marginal relief. I personally believe these two topics is very, very interesting and I guess little complicated also. So to understand the surcharge concept, now you should understand that surcharge concept we have to learn for both regime, for default tax regime as well as for optional tax regime. तो surcharge के provision बहुत सारे हो गए, बहुत सारे, और उसकी वजह से ही मार्जिन लीक भी थोड़ा सा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो गया है. एक्चुअली जहां जहां आप टैक्स कैलकुलेट करना चाहते हैं वो थोड़े थोड़े कॉम्प्लिकेटेड हो जाते हैं क्योंकि सरचार्ज की मल्टीपल रेट्स हैं एंड अगर आपकी स्पेशल रेट ऑफ इनकम है तो सरचार्ज की रेट बदल जाती है. एक डिफरेंस है, मैं आपको बड़ा इजीली समझाता हूं. जो ऑप्शनल टैक्स रिजिम की सरचार्ज की रेट है एंड जो डिफॉल्ट टैक्स रिजिम की सरचार्ज रेट है उसमें सिर्फ एक डिफरेंस, ओनली वन डिफरेंस. बाकी सब कुछ उसमें सेम है, ऑलमोस्ट 99% सेम. देयर इज ओनली वन डिफरेंस. सो कोई बता सकता है चैट बॉक्स में कि क्या डिफरेंस है ऑप्शनल टैक्स रिजिम की सरचार्ज रेट में और डिफॉल्ट टैक्स रिजिम की सरचार्ज रेट में? कोई पूछ रहा है, somebody is asking, sir, will you discuss the RTP, MTP and PYQ? We will discuss RTP, MTP if any question from basic concept is related from that RTP, MTP. So when I will take the basic concept chapter, if there is any question which is related to chapter number 1 from that RTP and MTP, there is one question I have already taken out from that. I have also included that question in my MCQ sheet. So we will discuss only those RTP, MTP question. Those are related to chapter number 1. So when I will take the class of any other revision topic, I will take class for revision topic of PGBP also, and I guess capital gain also. That is in October. Clear? So when I will take the PGBP and capital gain, then I will discuss the RTP, MTP questions from that PGBP and capital gain question. Fine. Okay, Swati BN is asking, sir, if question is silent, should we apply as under section 15 BAC? Let me tell you, Swati, I personally believe that must be given in the question, that you need to calculate tax as per section 15 BAC or not. You can go through the RTP and MTP question. Each question is explaining you and asking exactly that how you need to calculate tax, whether by both ways or beneficial. So if the question asks you have to calculate tax most beneficial, then you have to calculate tax in both ways and then to find out which is the minimum tax liability. If they specifically ask section 15 BAC, then आपको 15 BAC के according solve करना है. If they ask for optional tax regime, you have to solve it by optional tax regime. But if the question is silent, then what should we do? I guess that is a better choice, that you should calculate as per default tax regime, because default means default. If you need to take optional, you have to file some form, etc. So it's my suggestion, it's my view, or even you can ask to the BOS with the help of a mail that what you should do in this case. But in my opinion, it should be the default tax regime. Okay. Now somebody is asking me, sir, what is deferred tax asset and deferred tax liability? Chandra Bose, I requested you all. This is the income tax class. We are going to discuss the basic concept chapter. We can only take the queries which are related to basic concept chapter 1. Okay. I will share that file, PDF file of all chart, diagrams and notes. Do not worry. After the class, I will upload them. You can download it. Okay. So do we need to learn section number also? This is a very frequent question, what a lot of students ask regularly. Look, learning section is very good, of course. You should learn because you are in a course which is called Chartered Accountant, and this is our forte, like direct tax, GST, accounting, this is our forte, audit, etc. So we have to learn section. That's a very good habit if you can. But my advice is only this: if you do not sure about the section, do not write on a just like that way. Unless you are sure about that you are writing the correct section, only then code that section. If you are not sure about the section you are writing, kindly do not write the section. Okay, but try to learn them. If This you can do. It is really very nice. Okay, so you are giving answer. What is the difference between the surcharge provisions optional, etc. Correct. So a lot of students like giving the correct answer. Like there is no 37%. Pratima is correct. Very good. Satyapriya Nayak is correct, of course. So there is a rate of tax which is maximum surcharge rate under the optional tax regime is 37% when you have income exceeding 5 crore rupees. So there 37% is nowhere in the default tax regime. So that is a single difference. So if you are able to learn only one kind of surcharge provisions, whether under optional tax regime or under default tax regime, then the other surcharge provisions are very simple because almost everything is same except the rate of 37%. Well done, those who have given the correct answer. Well done, those who have given the answer. Whether it's correct or not, it does not matter. It's secondary. But you have tried, that's I really appreciate. Well done. Okay, Sumit is saying, sir, in surcharge topic, I have problem surcharge on a specific income. Do not worry, I am here. I will solve all your queries today. Just stay with me. I will solve all your surcharge provision. After today class, your all provision regarding surcharge, margin relief, calculating the tax as per the basic chapter will be gone. That's I promise you. Okay. So moving on to the provisions. So let me show you the surcharge chart and then we will solve the questions also. And it's a very easy process to learn that chart also. And here it comes. So this is the chart I have prepared for you, only for you. Look how hard work the ICAI, BOS and their faculty is doing only for your benefit. And let me tell you, this is the most easy way to understand the surcharge concept. Let me show you how. So first of all, we are discussing the surcharge as per opting out of default scheme. That means हम बात कर रहे हैं ऑप्शनल टैक्स रिज्यूम की. तो जो बच्चे हिंदी मीडियम से भी हैं वो भी ध्यान से सुने, सरचार्ज की सारी प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो जाएगी. ओके, सो हम सरचार्ज की बात करते हैं फॉर इंडिविजुअल एचयूएफ, एओपी, बीओआई, एजेपी जो ऑप्टिंग आउट हैं डिफॉल्ट टैक्स रिजिम से, यानी कि ऑप्शनल टैक्स रिजिम वाले हैं. अब दो पार्ट बना दिए. देयर इज केस वन. The case one says if total income does not consisting special rate of income, those are section 112A, 112 and STCG under section 111A and dividend. So if your total income does not including any of these income, these four incomes, if your total income is only base salary or house property, or you have income from interest, etc. You do not have any income from long-term cap gain 112A, 112 or short-term 111A or dividend. You must have gone through with what is the meaning of these incomes. We have already discussed in the live classes. So if your income does not include any of these income, then surcharge provisions are basic provision. Like up to 50 lakh, there will be no surcharge. If your TI is up to 50 lakh, there will be no surcharge. So up to 50, if income does not include, but up to 50 lakh rupees, then there is no surcharge. We all know that. Okay. So if income is exceeding 50 lakh and up to 1 crore, then 10%. These are normal provision. You must have all know these provision. The problem is when these income including, the case 2 is complicated. Case 1 is very simple. If it is more than 1 CR up to 2 CR, it's 15%. If it is more than 2 CR up to 5 CR, that is 25%. If it is more than 5 CR, then that will be 37%. This is normal case. So problem arises when the special category of income included in your income. Clear? These four income, any one of it. So if these income are not included, then no surcharge up to 50 lakh. From 50 to 1 CR, 10%. From 1 to 2 CR, 15%. From 2 to 5 CR, 25%. From more than 5 CR, it's 37%. I hope there is no problem in these provisions. The problem lies with this concept. Now, if your total income consisting 112A, 112 or STCG 111A or dividend, in that case, there are three cases. Now, listen very carefully. If your total income, including any of these four income, now if your total income, including these income up to rupees 2 crore. So what we are saying, if your total income, including these income is suppose up to 2 crore. For example, I am saying your salary income, suppose 70 lakh. Your 112 income is 90 lakh. So now your total income is 1.6 crore. That means your case fall in this category, because after including this income, after including this special for income, your income is up to 2 crore. It's not exceeding 2 crore. Clear? So if TI exceeding 50 lakhs, so in that case, normal provision as case number 1 will be applicable. So after including this income, if your income does not exceeding 2 crore, and if it is more than 50 lakh but up to 1 crore, then rate will be 10%. And if it is more than 1 crore up to 2 crore, then it will be 15%. It's simple provision, just like these cases. So if your income after including these income is up to 2 CR, then normal provision as per case A will be applicable. It is more than 50 to 1 CR, then 10% on the tax of these incomes. And if it is more than 1 CR up to 2 CR, that will be 15%. There is no new provision in this. Suppose salary income is 30 lakh and 112 income is 15 lakh. Then how much surcharge will be applicable? Tell me your answer in the chat box. In the second example, salary 30 lakh and 112 income is 15 lakh. What rate of surcharge will be applicable? Let me see who is going to answer. Okay, Kamalpreet saying 10%, 10%. Pragya saying 10%. Om Krishnan Gupta saying 10%. अरे भाई क्या कर रहे हो तुम लोग? Income is less than 50 lakh. There will be no surcharge. There will be no surcharge. What are you? This is the way how examiner trap you in the question. You should understand. I just focused you on this rate and I ask a question on which surcharge cannot be applicable because it is only 45 lakhs. Surcharge starting when income exceeding 50 lakh. That's why I'm saying. वो कहते हैं हिंदी में सावधानी हटी दुर्घटना घटी. Focus on the question first. Why are you? There is a process of solving question. First, understand the question, listen the question or read the question. Then process it with brain and then speak or answer, right? So you are just listening and giving the answer. No, there's a process. You have to process that question into the provisions. So when I say salary 30 lakh and this is 15 lakh, your brain does not apply this question. You just said, okay, it's 45 lakh, less than 2 crore, surcharge 10%. But there is no surcharge up to 50 lakh. So just take your time, understand the question. If teacher is asking you, he knows your mistakes, he knows your weakness. So please do not answer without processing that query with the help of the provision. Clear? Maza hai? Okay. So if your TI including these incomes and it is up to 2 crore, then if it is more than 50 up to 1 CR, then 10%. And if it is more than 1 CR up to 2 CR, it's 15%. There is no new provision. Now, point B. If it is including, अब now understand. अगर हम A part में ये कहते हैं, if including up to 2 CR, तो B part अब क्या है? If including more than 2 CR or 5 CR. So अगर A कहता है कि including up to 2 CR, तो B कह रहा है अगर after including these income, suppose your income is exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR, then what will be the surcharge? The surcharge rate is 15% fixed on all incomes. Simple, very simple. ठीक है, देखो दोबारा रिवाइज करते हैं. अगर इनकम है ही नहीं, I believe because surcharge provisions are very difficult, students do a lot of mistakes in solving this surcharge provision. So I am focusing on those provisions. Those I know that you will do some mistakes and your hard work will be waste. So if you do not have these kind of income, it's very simple. It will be 10%, 15, 25, 37, depending upon the total income. If it is including these income and if it is up to 2 crore, then surcharge will be 10% if exceeding 50 or 15% if exceeding 1 CR. Now, if after including they are exceeding 2 CR. It's very simple. Surcharge will be 15%. Sorted. Finish. Clear? Now the C and the last part. So the C is the other case. Any case which does not falls in case A or B. Now understand, A and B was saying that if your total income, including these income, including these special income is up to 2 CR or it's more than 2 CR. Now it says, if your total income without considering these four income, or we can say excluding these income, if your total income excluding these income exceeding is 2 CR or 5 CR. Now suppose your salary income is 3 crore and your long-term capital gain 112 is 1 crore. So now we fall in this provision because after excluding these income, if your income exceeding 2 CR, after excluding long-term 112A, 112, 111A short-term or dividend, after excluding, remove these income. And if after removing these income, your other income like salary, house property, interest, whatever these are, if those are exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR, then C case will be applicable. First case was after including up to 2 CR. Second was after including exceeding 2 CR. Now third is after excluding exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR. So in that case, the provision says on these four income tax, so special category of whatever amount of these incomes are, the tax will be, the surcharge rate will be 15%. Whether these incomes exceeding whatever limit it is. On other income, if it is more than 2 CR up to 5 CR, then tax will be 25%. And if it exceeding 5 CR, then tax will be 37% of tax on other income. So if it is 25%, if income exceeding more than 2 CR up to 5 CR, and if these other income exceeding 5 CR, in that case, surcharge rate will be 37%. Suppose we have salary income 3 crore. We have long-term capital gain 112A 1 crore. Now this case will fall in category number C. So now C say whatever will be your tax on long-term capital gain, surcharge rate will be 15%. And now salary, that will be fall under this category. Sorry, first category, more than 2 CR but up to 5 CR. Other income is 3 crore. So that will fall in this category. So whatever will be the tax on 3 crore, surcharge rate will be 25%. Understood? I have also prepared question for you. Ignore these cases. We are focusing on the correct rate. ठीक है ना? इसको ignore कर देते. ठीक है? ये cases 1 case, 2 case छोड़कर हम डायरेक्ट रेट फोकस करेंगे. Do not focus on these cases. Fine. रेट फोकस करते हैं. ये सारे 7 इलस्ट्रेशन अभी हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे, सॉल्व हो जाएंगे. जिसकी सरचार्ज की जो भी प्रॉब्लम है आज वो हमेशा के लिए खत्म हो जाए. दी एंड. क्लियर? चलो फर्स्ट एग्जांपल सेज अदर इनकम इज 70 लाख. डिविडेंड एक्सेट्रा नहीं है. दैट मींस 111A, 112A और डिविडेंड की इनकम वी डोंट हैव. वी हैव ओनली इनकम डज नॉट इंक्लूडिंग दोज इनकम. So if income does not include those income, those four specific income, now you can see. So if your case, minimize the screen. Now you can see the provision as well as the question. Clear? So this, if it is say that your other income is 70 lakh and you do not have any income of this, then this is my case number 1. That means if it does not include any income, that is 112A, 112, etc. So that will be case 1. Your income is 70 lakhs. So what will be the surcharge? The surcharge will be 10%. Now your income is 80 lakh. And your dividend, etc. income is 1.9 CR. So now you can see your total income is exceeding 2 CR. your total income is exceeding 2 CR, but it is exceeding 2 CR after including these income. So which case will be applicable? That will be this one, income including these four specific income. Income is exceeding 2 CR, but when? After including these income. So if income including these income exceeding 2 CR, then the rate will be 15%. Clear? Now income is 90 lakh and 80 lakh. So that is 1.7 CR. That means income is not exceeding 2 CR. After including the other income also, special income also, income is not exceeding 2 CR. So this is A case. So because income is not exceeding and it is 1.70 lakh. So 1.70 lakh will fall in this category. Up to 2 crore, the rate will be 15%. Now, other is 1.3 CR and this is 2 CR. So now income exceeding 2 crore, but after including this income, we are exceeding 2 CR. And because after including this income, we are exceeding 2 CR. That means we fall again this category. And surcharge rate will be 15%. Now, fifth case is very interesting. Now you can see other income is 4 CR. That means it is exceeding by itself more than 2 crore. So this will be the last case when your income is exceeding 2 CR on its own without including the other income. So it's 5 CR. And because it has excess on its own, then the tax on this will be 15%. You can see surcharge will be 15%. And this will be 25% because it is between 2 CR and up to 5 CR. You can see 6 case. Now it is 6 CR. Individually it's 6 CR. Another is 2 CR. So this on 2 CR, the rate will be 15%, and this other, it will be 37%. Now the last case, it's also very interesting. If you have 4 CR and this is not, we do not have any these income. So this will fall in case number 1. Not in these case, that will fall in case number 1. 4 crore, that will between 2 crore and up to 5 crore your income is there. So rate of surcharge will be 25%. So you should go through with this example one more time after the class. And I personally believe your all confusion regarding the surcharge will be gone. You can learn it in this way that if there is no these specific income, surcharge will be 10, 15, 25, 37. That is part A. And if we do have, अगर हमारे पास ये 4 इनकम हैं, तो आपको देखना है इन 4 इनकम को जोड़कर अगर हमारी इनकम 2 करोड़ तक, तो सरचार्ज रेट विल बी ईदर 10% और 15%. इन चारों इनकम को जोड़कर अगर हमारी इनकम 2 करोड़ से ऊपर निकल जाती तो सब पे टैक्स 15%, सरचार्ज 15%. ओके. और अगर इनको जोड़े बिना हमारी इनकम 2 करोड़ से ऊपर निकल जाती, अगर इनको ऐड किए बिना इनकम हमारी 2 करोड़ से ऊपर है, तो इन पर तो लगेगा सरचार्ज 15% की रेट से, लेकिन जो टैक्स बनेगा उस पर सरचार्ज लगेगा अदर इनकम पे या तो 25% और 37%, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द अदर इनकम. We have the default tax regime case also. Under default tax regime, the maximum rate is 25% in this condition when you include other income also. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट आते हैं प्रोविजंस पे. It's really good to see that you all are there. And Abhijit Chaudhary is asking, sir, please tell us the logic behind such separate surcharge rates on others and special rates of income. So, Mr. Abhijit, law is prepared to be followed. We cannot ask the logic behind the rates. The logic is with the finance department, the finance ministry, etc. They decide which rate should be applicable, and there's a logic also. There's a logic also behind. You can think that why up to senior citizen level, the exemption is 2.5 lakh. Why it's 3 lakh and why it's 5 lakh for super senior. There is a logic behind it, but we cannot discuss these kind of logic in our study things because we have to focus on the provision. What are the provision? Why are the provision? That is not the part of our syllabus. That will take a lot of time to understand why these rates has been prepared like this. Why surcharge are prepared like this? Why this surcharge rate is fluctuating? You might think that, but there is a logic behind everything, but we cannot discuss because that's really complicated and that will take a lot of time. Okay. Okay, somebody asked that if other income is 45 lakh and 118 to 112 income is 3 crore, then tax will be, you must be asking what is the surcharge will be. So the first, the question you are asking, Ayushi, that will be called fall in the A category. That after including your income, if it's exceeding 2 CR, so your income is exceeding 2 CR, that is point number B. So upon 45 lakh rupees and the income including it is exceeding 2 crore rupees, including the rate will be surcharged 15%. Okay. So that was the surcharge concept we have discussed with the help of the tax rate. Here are the provisions also. You can go through with the provisions also. We have section 15 BAC slab rate also. That is up to 3 lakh rupees. There is no differentiation about the age in case of section 15 BAC. We all have the same category of slab rate. That is up to 3 lakh. There will be no tax. From 3 to 6, that will be 5%. From 6 to 9, it will be 10%. From 9 to 12, it will be 15%. From 12 to 15, it will be 20%. And above 15 lakh, it will be 30%. For the purpose of examination, up to 15 lakh, if you can see up to 15 lakh rupees, the tax will be 1.5 lakh. So if there is a question in which suppose income has been given 20 lakh rupees. So for saving your time, up to 15 lakh, the tax will be 1.5 lakh. So balance 5 lakh will be taxable at the rate of 30%. That will be again 1.5 lakh. Same in the case of optional tax regime, up to 10 lakh rupees in case of those category for which 2.5 lakh rupees exemption. The tax will be 1,12,500 rupees. For those category having exemption up to 3 lakh rupees, the tax will be 1,10,000. For those category having exemption of 5 lakh rupees, the tax will be 1 lakh rupees. So if the income has been given exceeding this 10 lakh rupees in case of optional regime and in case of default tax regime exceeding 15 lakh rupees, then we can directly take 1.5 lakh rupees tax and extra tax can be calculated. So it will save your time. Okay. We all know that there are certain conditions need to be satisfied. There are certain conditions need to be satisfied before opting. Before opting, section 115 BAC provision. You must have gone through with the provision in the other chapter also. In case of salary, you have to leave travel concession, house rent allowances, exemptions, daily allowances, constituency allowances, etc. in these cases. Fine. So these are the part of provisions we have already discussed. Now we have surcharge provisions regarding this that has been taken up from the surcharge chart. You can also go through with the study provisions. We have also a study material in which the surcharge detail provision has been given. If you want to read the provisions in detail, you do not want to follow the surcharge diagram, you want to understand the provision of surcharge in detail, then you can go through with the provisions of your study material also, in which we have been given the detailed provision regarding surcharge. Let me show you. Then we will discuss the illustration also regarding this. These are the provisions for rate of taxes. We have the surcharge provisions for optional tax regime as well as the default tax regime. After this, we will discuss the MCQ part and illustration, etc. In your study material, agriculture income provisions has been included in this chapter. I have made the 3 separate topics. One is for basic provisions, one is for surcharge provisions, and one is for agriculture income provisions. So let me show you the surcharge provisions. This is section 15 BAC, rate of taxes, etc. The normal optional scheme provisions. These are the rate of taxes, including surcharge provision, which has been given for normal optional tax regime, and section 15 BAC also. Clear? You can see this is our special rate of income. We will focus on the marginally and the other MCQ question. These are the surcharge provisions. There is section 15 BAC, which talks about there will be tax rate of 10% in some case of surcharge, 15%, 25% surcharge provisions, 15%, etc. And now we will discuss the provisions of margin relief. After that, we will move on to discuss the provisions of MCQs one by one. Okay. So let me show you the provision regarding the marginal relief rate of taxes. These are tax rate for companies, domestic company, corporate society, etc. Now, what is the meaning of marginal relief? That is also a very important topic in this chapter number 1, in which we have to go through the provisions and find out what is the marginal relief in certain cases when your income is just exceeding the point from which the surcharge is applicable or the surcharge rate is going to be changed. So if your income cross that boundary, that fractional boundary, a simple income is increased by a very few amount, very less amount, by which, and due to the surcharge provision, if it happens that your tax liability has been increased in excess of the income increase from that previous level. It says in certain cases due to surcharge effect, it happens with the due to generally surcharge effects, excess of tax can exceed the excess of income. So if it happens that your excess of tax is exceeding the excess of income, but as a general rule, income tax say tax cannot exceed the income. So in those cases, so if there is a situation in which your difference of income is less than the difference of tax, or we can say if the difference of tax is exceeding the difference of income. Suppose what we are talking, we are saying, suppose कभी ऐसा हो जाए कि इनकम हो 1 लाख और टैक्स 1,02,000 हो जाए. Now, this is very strange. If I'm saying, is it possible that there is an income of rupees 1 lakh and the tax is 1,02,000? The answer is no, because we have seen the rate of tax is maximum is 30%, including surcharge. The maximum surcharge rate is 37% on tax. If we include that, that would come amount 10% more, that will be 40%, etc. So how it is possible that the income of 1 lakh can be taxed and the tax will be more than income? So as a general rule, it is not possible. But in case of surcharge provisions, that might be a case where difference of tax can exceed the difference of income. How it happens? Let me show you. So margin relief is there. If it happens, suppose if it happens that the income tax says, suppose your income is 1 lakh and the tax is 1,02,000. In that case, income tax say we will provide you the discount of 2,000. That discount is called margin relief. And this discounts will be available from the tax. So if your tax was 1,02,000, discount will be 2,000 and you need to pay only tax of rupees 1 lakh. So if there is a situation in which your tax is exceeding the income, then that excess part is called marginal relief. And you can claim that marginal relief as a discount from your tax liability. How it works and why and how we need to calculate the marginal relief, that is going to be discussed. So marginal relief will applicable in cases of MR means if tax exceed income. If tax exceed income, then such excess will be allowed as discount out of the tax so calculated, and marginal relief may apply. It will apply in case of individual HUF, AOP, BOI if total income exceeding 50 lakhs. So it will be applicable only if there is a due to surcharge effect, it can happen. So it will be applicable only if total income exceeding 50 lakh rupees. So if in the question it has been asked that there is a income of 40 lakh, calculate marginal relief, there cannot be any marginal relief. Okay. In case of partnership firm, domestic company, local authority, society, etc. If income exceeding 1 CR, then MR can be applicable. So here is a format how you need to calculate the marginally. I have make a format for you so that will be easy to understand for all of you. So how to calculate marginally? There's a fixed format. You have to follow it and you will find out the correct marginally and tax also. Step 1 says calculate tax on total income of such person as given in the question without cess. Just apply the tax and surcharge if any applicable. Do not apply the cess. It will apply later. So you need to write the income and you need to find the tax upon that income. Clear? Now step 2 says calculate tax on total income of such person for such limit surcharge not applicable or surcharge rate changed. What does that mean? It says, suppose in question it says that total income is 51 lakh. Then in first point, I will write 51 lakh and I will find it tax and I will apply the surcharge 10% on that tax and this will be my tax. And in second point, I will take income 50 lakh rupees. We need to take that income up to which surcharge is not applicable. So I will write in this case income 50 lakh rupees and I will calculate the tax on it. There will be no surcharge because up to 50 lakh there is no surcharge applicable. So I'll calculate tax according to this. And now in the third case, I will find the difference. So difference of income is 1 lakh. Now I need to find out the difference of tax. So if it is exceeding 1 lakh, suppose it is now 1 lakh 2,500. Now you can say tax is exceeding the income by 2,500. This will be my marginal relief. Okay. Suppose the question says the total income is 1 crore 2 lakh. Then I have to write over here 1 crore 2 lakh rupees. Need to calculate the tax and surcharge will be 15% if the income is only including normal income. Now over here I have to write income 1 crore because the provision says that in this category, either we need to take that income up to which surcharge limit not applicable or if the surcharge rate on that person has been changed. So because exceeding 1 crore, the surcharge rate is 15%. So now we need to take that income up to which surcharge rate was changed. So it will be 1 crore and surcharge will be 10%. Now we find out the difference between this surcharge and tax. We will solve it with the help of an example. It has been given below. Here is a question. Calculate tax of Mr. Sudeep if his total income is 51 lakh 50,000. Clear? Age is 42 years and he is a resident of India. Optional tax regime we need to apply. So what we will do, step 1 is need to take that income which has been given in question, 51 lakh 50,000. The tax as per normal provision will be 1357500. Surcharge 10% will be this and total tax will be this. Step 2, now we'll take 50 lakh rupees fixed because before this category, the surcharge rate will be 0. So we will take that income up to which surcharge rate is 0. That will be 50 lakh. Now the tax of this 50 lakh will be 1312500. Surcharge not applicable. The tax will be this. So now tax difference is 180 and income difference is 150. So your income increased by 1,50,000. But due to this increment, your tax liability has been increased by 1,80,750. That means your excess tax which need to be paid by you is 30750. So now income tax say no, that will be your marginal relief. If tax is exceeding income, tax excess will be your marginal relief. and this marginal leave will be deducted from your total income tax liability, which was this one, and that will be my tax. Then you apply cess. This will be my final tax liability. I hope it's clear. Now we will take the MCQ question regarding it, but before that, let me see if there is any query. Then we will go for a 5 to 10 minute break, and when we will resume after the break, we will take your MCQ queries, and you can ask your query also after the break. Anmol is asking, sir, whether other income exceeding 2 CR, 5 CR, excluding dividend income, etc. But if dividend income does not exceed 2 CR, then will it be 10% or 15%? If your other income is exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR, if your other income exceeding 2 CR or 5 CR, excluding dividend or other income, so that surcharge it will be either 25% or 37% on the tax of other income. And your dividend income will be taxable at the rate of 15% on. Okay. Same question. Why are you repeating the question again and again? You can also send your queries on the, I guess, BOS portal also. NRI taxation is including final level. Fine. In our provision, there is only basic concept provision is discussing as per chapter number 1. In chapter 1, there is no NRI specific provision has been given. Okay. Kritika is asking, sir, we will get this recorded lecture. This is on YouTube. You can watch this on YouTube anytime, anywhere, multiple time, whenever you want. So it is available on the YouTube portal for forever. Okay. Anmol, I have answered your question. Why are you asking the same question 20 times? You should have patience, because when I'm teaching, I will take the queries after that concept what we are discussing. So you should have, please have some patience. Okay. Kiran Mishra is asking, sir, marginal leave in Hindi, please. Okay, Kiran, हिंदी में बताते हैं मार्जिनल लीव क्या होता है. ठीक है. मार्जिनल लीव का मतलब है कि अगर कभी ऐसा हो जाए कि आपकी जो इनकम है वो कम हो और टैक्स उससे ज्यादा हो जाए. अब ऐसा लगता है कि ये तो कभी पॉसिबल हो ही नहीं सकता, कि ऐसा कैसे पॉसिबल है कि इनकम कम हो और टैक्स ज्यादा हो. ठीक है ना किरण? मतलब हम तो ऐसी बात कर रहे हैं कि मान लीजिए इनकम 1 लाख किसी की और टैक्स 1,05,000 हो जाए, बट इनकम टैक्स मान लो अगर ऐसा हो जाए तो ये हम नहीं करेंगे. अगर इनकम 1 लाख है और टैक्स उससे ज्यादा हो जाए तो जितना एक्सेस है, मतलब 5,000 रुपए, इस टैक्स का आपको डिस्काउंट दे देंगे टैक्स में से. इसे कहते हैं मार्जिनल रिलीफ. टैक्स में से ही डिस्काउंट. तो जो पहले टैक्स 1,05,000 था उसमें से 5,000 हम घटा लेंगे, तो हमें 1 लाख की टैक्स देना है, 1 लाख से ऊपर टैक्स नहीं देना. अब ऐसा क्यों हो जाता है? ऐसा हो जाता है सरचार्ज की वजह से. जैसे आप एक क्वेश्चन देखें, मार्जिनली कैलकुलेट करने का तरीका देखिए क्या है. क्या आप स्टेप वन में आप लेंगे वो टोटल इनकम जो क्वेश्चन में गिवन, जैसे 51 लाख गिवन है, तो स्टेप 1 में आप लिख लें 51 लाख और उसका जो भी टैक्स बनता है एज पर प्रोविजन, चाहे सेक्शन 115 बीएसी का क्वेश्चन हो या नॉर्मल मार्जिनली, दोनों के लिए ही सेम कंसेप्ट है, सेम स्टेप से आता है. देयर इज नो डिफरेंस कंसेप्ट इन केस ऑफ मार्जिनली. 115 बीएसी में टैक्स जो बनेगा 51 लाख का, वो 115 बीएसी के अकॉर्डिंग बनेगा और इसमें नॉर्मल तरीके से बनेगा. ठीक है. तो पहले आप टैक्स कैलकुलेट करेंगे 51 लाख पर जो भी आता है, फिर उतनी इनकम पर टैक्स कैलकुलेट करेंगे जिस पे सरचार्ज या तो नहीं लगता है. जैसे 51 लाख की इनकम पे हमने टैक्स निकाला, तो अब हम 50 लाख रुपीस की इनकम नीचे रखेंगे सेकंड स्टेप में, वो इनकम जिस पे सरचार्ज नहीं लगता है उसका टैक्स निकालेंगे. फिर हम टैक्स का डिफरेंस लेंगे थर्ड स्टेप में, और इधर से इनकम का डिफरेंस. तो इनकम का डिफरेंस आया मान लीजिए 1 लाख और टैक्स का डिफरेंस आया 1,02,500, जो इनकम से ज्यादा है. अगर यहां आता 1,05,000 और यहां आता 1,02,500, तो मार्जिनल रिलीफ नहीं मिलेगा. वो सिर्फ कब मिलेगा? जब ये इनकम वाला पार्ट कम हो और टैक्स वाला पार्ट ज्यादा. तो वो जितना भी ज्यादा होगा एक्सेस, उस एक्सेस का आप डिस्काउंट ले सकते हैं अपने टैक्स में से. अगर इनकम क्वेश्चन में 1,02,00,000 रुपए दी है यहां पर, तो हम फर्स्ट स्टेप में लेंगे 1,02,00,000 रुपए, उसका टैक्स निकालेंगे. और यहां अब लेंगे हम 1 करोड़ रुपए की इनकम, यहां 50 लाख नहीं, क्योंकि प्रोविजन कहता है फर्स्ट पॉइंट में जो भी इनकम आई है उससे पीछे वाली वो वैल्यू जिसपे या तो सरचार्ज नहीं था या सरचार्ज की रेट बदली थी, वो वाली इनकम आप सेकंड स्टेप में कंसीडर करेंगे। तो 1 करोड़ 2 लाख पे सरचार्ज की रेट होती है 15, और इससे पहले जो लिमिट है उस पर रेट होती है 10, और वो लिमिट क्या है 1 करोड़। तो नीचे हम फिर 1 करोड़ के हिसाब से टैक्स कैलकुलेट करेंगे। एमसीक्यू जो मैं सॉल्व करूंगा उसमें काफी सारे हमारे पास एमआर मार्जिनल के क्वेश्चन है, रिबेट के क्वेश्चन है, काफी सारे क्वेश्चन है वहां ये प्रॉब्लम, क्योंकि हम 3 4 5 एमसीक्यू ऐसे सॉल्व करेंगे, टेस्ट योर नॉलेज क्वेश्चन भी सॉल्व करेंगे, तो उसमें आपकी प्रॉब्लम और डिटेल में सॉल्व हो जाएगी।
ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
ठीक है, तो भार्गव जी हम एक छोटे से ब्रेक पे जा सकते हैं फिलहाल, 10 मिनट के, उसके बाद क्लास रिज्यूम करेंगे। ठीक है, आफ्टर 10 मिनट्स। Okay, welcome back everyone. I believe you must have your tea, coffee, water, etc. And we charge now. We continue, of course. So we were discussing about the basic concept. And the basic concept, we have discussed the rates of tax, the marginal leap, and there is a very interesting thing about the numerical topic. आप जितना भी उनको रिवाइज कर लो, आप जितना भी उनको अच्छी तरह याद कर लो, but until unless you will practice the numerical, you won't be able to understand the concept clearly. So now the time has come where we will discuss the MCQs regarding the basic concept, different topic. We will discuss the calculation of tax, the marginal leap also in our class today. And that will be an interactive session, of course. And you can ask your query also if there is any query. And I'll ask the question from all of you. And let's see who are there to give the correct answer. So this is our live virtual revisionary classes. The new batch for assessment year 25-26 will be started from 4th of October. From the basic concept topic for assessment year 25-26, the new batch will start from 4th of October. Okay. So this is our MCQs. There is question number 1 for all of you. You have to read it carefully and then you need to give me the answer. And let's see who is going to give the correct answer. The question is, which entry in article of the Constitution of India give the power to the Parliament to make law on income tax? What is the correct section? What is the correct option? Okay. So Rohit Gupta is saying C. Abhishek is saying C. Only write the option there. Okay. We do not need any answer like questions. We just need the correct option. The correct answer is, of course, option number C. Well done. For those who are giving the correct answer, well done. For those who are giving the wrong answer. And at least you are giving the answer. That is more important. Now, question number 2. Which list give power to both state and parliament? In the basic provision, there's a concept of list. There are union list, state list, and concurrent list. So you have to answer which list give power to both state and parliament. So you all are giving the answer very quickly, very fast, very nice. Good to see. Very good to see this. So the correct answer is, of course, option number C. The concurrent list give you the power to both state and parliament. Union list gives the power on which central government having control. State list is those powers on which state having the control, exclusive control generally. And concurrent list is those power on which state and central both have some power. Okay, well done. Next, who is empowered to make rules for carrying out the purpose of the act? Okay, somebody is saying A, somebody is saying B, somebody is saying CBDT. Okay, so the correct answer is, of course, CBDT. Well done. Very well done. Now, question number 4. Read it carefully because it says, Mr. Sudeep let out his building to Mr. Vinal for 2 lakh rupees per annum. Mr. Sudeep deposits such 2 lakh rupees in his bank account and also on bank interest rupees 15,000, in which head rupees 2 lakh and 15,000 will fall. So what is the correct answer? Somebody is saying B, somebody is saying D. More options. Answer is D. The correct answer is, of course, D, because whatever we are receiving as a rental income from a building, that will be taxable under income from house property. And the interest income, what we are earning, that will be the part of income from other sources. So that's a correct option. Option number D. Well done. This is our income from other source, and this is our income from house property. Very well done. Which is not included in the definition of person. We have gone through the provisions regarding the definition of person. We have individual, etc. Those fall in the definition of person, section 237. So out of these 4, which is not included in the definition of person. Okay, a lot of answer is saying C. The correct answer will be D. C will fall under the definition of AJP. Artificial judicial person says if there is any person who does not fall in the above category, that will be treated as AJP. So suppose there is any organization on which some AI is working, some artificial intelligence or robot has been implemented as the owner. In that case, it will fall under the definition of AJP. So all of these are included in the definition of person. Like you must have seen a movie that was entertainment. उसमें एक dog था, उसके नाम पे सारी property आ जाती है. उस dog को पूरी property का owner बनाया जाता है. So all income goes to that dog. So if under income tax we need to taxable that dog, in which category it will fall? It will fall under AJP, artificial judicial person. Okay. Which of the following statement? Which of the following statement is true? Somebody is asking, sir, in this question, we can assume that robot is not a person. Robot is under the definition of artificial judicial person. So that is also going to be taxable. Even God is included. Suppose God is also included in the definition of artificial judicial person. So when God is taxable, income tax does not spare God also. They need to pay tax also. So they are included in the definition of AJP. Nobody can spared from the definition of artificial judicial person. So which of the following statement is true? The correct answer is D. Previous year is always 12 months. It might be possible for a new business. It can be less than 12 months. Suppose somebody started business from 1st of November 2023. 1st November 2023. Or start earning income from 1st November 23. So the previous year for that particular income will be from 1st November 23 till 31st March 24. So that will not be 12 months. So that statement cannot be true. Previous year always less 12 months. That is also not true because somebody is starting earning income from 1st April till the 31st of March. So that cannot be true. Assessment year can be less than 12 months. Of course not. Assessment year can be less than, it's not possible. Assessment year always 12 months. Yeah, this statement is correct. Well done. If business start on 10/5/2023, what will be the previous year for such business income? Of course, we have just gone through with the question number 7 MCQ, and we know that what time duration would be considered as the previous year. Of course, option number C correct. Income Tax Act 1961 came into force from which date income tax came into force? The act is 1961. It has been coming to the force from 1st April 1962. Somebody is saying D, somebody is saying A. Please go through the provisions. This is chapter number 1. You might ignore chapter number 1 theoretical provision, assuming that this is not going to be asked in the examination, but no, that's not so. Please read everything carefully. Anything can be asked in the examination. Income tax is charged on every, this is very simple, of course, person. Which of the following is binding on both assessee and department? Notification, circular, both or none. Which of the following is binding on both assessee and department? Do not give answer without thinking the provision. Just do not type A, B, C, and D just like that, because I am watching that you are giving answer so frequently, so fast. I believe, and still they are wrong. Multiple of answer is wrong. Like in this question, I have answered A, B, C, and D. Everybody is giving, somebody is saying A, somebody is saying C, somebody is saying D. That means you are not thinking about the provision. This has been written in the question. It has been written in the, sorry, in the provision. You should go through the provision, and the correct answer is Question number 10, that is notifications. That is binding on both assessee and department. Now the numerical part has been started. Now it's your work. You should have a pen, paper, and a calculator to calculate the tax in these questions. So next 4 or 5 questions actually connected with the numerical part. And the question says, total income of Mr. Sudeep Jain is 50,80,000 from salary. Computed means net salary. Okay, this is his total income. Compute tax under both regime, 115 BAC and optional. We have to calculate tax under both regime, 115 BAC and the optional tax regime. So now calculate it. I will calculate. I'm giving you a time of 2 or 3 minutes. Calculate the tax. You should have a pen, paper, etc. and give me the correct answer, which option is correct. So when we will solve 3, 4, 5 questions like this, you will be able to understand the surcharge provision, the marginal leave concept, the calculation of tax very easily. And it will take time, but you will understand all these things. Then I will solve it with you, of course. First of all, you have to try by yourself. So income is 50,80,000. Let me tell you, marginal leave concept will be applicable in this. So if you are going to calculate the tax, kindly apply the provision of marginal leave also. So anybody is giving the answer. Okay, somebody, Abhishek Singh, is saying C. Well done, Abhishek. The correct answer is C. Now, how we calculate that? Let me show you. Okay. So first of all, we are solving this MCQ number 11. I have already solved it. Optional tax regime. So I have told you in the marginal leave concept, because when income is just slightly over the limit on which surcharge is applicable or the surcharge rate has been changed. So you can see in the question that if the income is just slightly above that limit on which surcharge is applicable or surcharge rate is changed. तो अगर आपको ऐसी इनकम मिलती है जिसके जरा सा ही ऊपर होते ही सरचार्ज की लिमिट या तो एप्लीकेबल हो गई है या सरचार्ज की लिमिट चेंज हो गई है, तो अगर क्वेश्चन में ऐसी इनकम है तो प्लीज हमेशा मार्जिनल लीव का कंसेप्ट लगाकर ही क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कीजिए. अब क्वेश्चन में दिए है टोटल इनकम हैज बीन गिवन 50,80,000. 50 लाख तक देयर इज नो सरचार्ज, बट 50 लाख के ऊपर सरचार्ज होता है, तो हमें इस क्वेश्चन में वी हैव टू अप्लाई द मार्जिनल लीव कंसेप्ट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, ऑप्शनल स्कीम आई हैव टोल्ड यू, सबसे पहले वी विल राइट डाउन द टोटल इनकम whatever has been given in the question, that is 50,80,000. the income has been given in question. Now we will calculate the tax upon it. If you will calculate the tax under optional tax regime, the tax will come 133,6500. I have already calculated, I have already prepared the sheet. Okay, then surcharge 10% will be applicable on this, and that will come 133,650. I hope it's clear. The total tax will be 1470150. Now the second step, now we need to take that income up to which either the surcharge rate has been earlier changed or there will be no surcharge. So up to 50 lakh there is no surcharge. So now we will take 50 lakh rupees total income. And the tax would be now 1312500. Surcharge will be not applicable. So this will be my total tax except the cess applicability. Now the third step, तीसरा स्टेप क्या बताया था, हम क्या निकालते हैं, डिफरेंस। ध्यान से देखो, डिफरेंस ऑफ इनकम एंड डिफरेंस ऑफ टैक्स। तो डिफरेंस ऑफ इनकम इज 80,000 रुपीज and difference of tax, if you will find out, it will come 157,650. So if this is greater than this, there will be marginal relief. And how you need to calculate? Just subtract the income from this tax. The difference between this tax and income will be marginal relief. That will be 77,650. Now, what will we do with the marginal relief? That's a kind of a discount. What we can avail from the tax, what we have calculated. That is this tax. So out of 1470150, we will deduct marginal relief, that is 77650. So we will move on to the new tax, which is 1392500. And now 4% says 55,700. So my tax liability under optional tax regime will be, final tax liability will be this. Always remember, total income and tax will be rounded off to the multiple of 10 rupees. Clear? We all know that thing. Now this was under optional tax regime. I have told you the provision regarding margin relief is exactly same, whether you are under optional tax regime or default tax regime. So now we will solve default tax regime provision. This same question under default tax regime. Up to default tax regime, income is giving 50 lakh 80,000. There is same procedure you need to follow. No difference. Now the tax under default tax regime up to 3 lakh nil, then 3265% as per that slab rate will come to 1224000. 10% surcharge rate, of course, same 1222400. I've told you there's one difference in surcharge rate. There is no 37% rate in case of default tax regime. 1346400. Now again we will take 50 lakh rupees. Step 2. Now the tax on this 50 lakh will come 12 lakh rupees. No surcharge. Now the difference will be again 50,000. And this will 146,400. This is higher than income. So difference will be my marginally 66,400. What we will do with this? We will deduct it from the tax we have computed on given total income. So that will be 1280000. Then 4% says 51,200. It will be 1331200. So we have the correct answer. Option number C. Clear? Okay. So if we'll practice these 2-3 questions, you will very easily able to understand to calculate the tax, to apply the surcharge rate, and to calculate the marginally very easily. Fine. Next question is total income of Mr. Sudeep Jain is 1 crore 1 lakh from income from house property computed. Compute tax under both regime. चलो एक काम करो, किसी एक रिज्यूम का टैक्स निकाल दो, 115 BAC का या फिर ऑप्शनल का. अगेन income is just slightly over from the limit from which surcharge rate changed, because now income is 1 crore 1 lakh. Up to 1 crore surcharge is 10. More than 1 crore it's 15%. So just apply the provision with the help of marginally. Do one thing, आप लोग 115 BAC के अकॉर्डिंग क्या टैक्स बन रहा है वो निकाल दो. मैं सॉल्व दोनों कराऊंगा, बट स्टिल आंसर में 115 BAC के अकॉर्डिंग क्या टैक्स बनता है, इंक्लूडिंग एजुकेशन सेस. Whenever somebody is asking about the tax, we mean that we need tax after education and health cess. So without cess, the answer will be considered as wrong. Okay. चलो फटाफट से सॉल्व करो. 115 BAC के अकॉर्डिंग what will be the tax after considering marginal relief if applicable. Anybody? Somebody is saying A. Okay, SY Kavya is saying A. Swati is saying A. Okay. Okay. And when we say compute tax, that means we need the answer of tax. We do not need the answer of marginal relief. We need the answer of tax. Okay. Suppose in question, if the question asks that calculate marginally, in that case, we need not to calculate the tax. Just stop your answer when you find out the marginally. There is no requirement to calculate the tax and show your smartness. That will waste your time. So if the question asks the marginally, find out the marginally and stop your answer. That will be your answer. Do not try to find out the final tax liability. That is not required. Okay. कोई extra marks नहीं मिलेंगे उसके. उसकी वजह से आपका time 2 मिनट 3 मिनट waste हो जाएगा. Okay, so correct answer is A. Very appreciable because almost सब बच्चे ठीक आंसर दे रहे हैं. कोमलप्रीत भी ये कह रही है. Deepa and Vipul also. So high five from Wi-Fi. Well done. Now, how we have calculated that? Let me solve for those who are not able to solve this question. So that was MCQ 12. देखो भाई करना क्या, बड़ा फिक्स सा प्रोविजन है, कुछ नहीं करना, 3 स्टेप है. Take the income which is given in question. Fine. Then take that income up to which surcharge rate is changed or there is no surcharge. Then find the difference. That's it. There is just calculation of tax. There is nothing else in marginally. Okay. तो हम पहले निकालते हैं ऑप्शनल टैक्स रिजिम से क्वेश्चन. जल्दी जल्दी सॉल्व करेंगे. फाइन. तो 101,111,1 करोड़ 1 लाख उसका टैक्स निकालेंगे अगर हम, तो ये आएगा 28. दिस इज सेकंड. करेक्ट. दैट विल बी 28,425,000. सरचार्ज आएगा 15%. ठीक है. सरचार्ज आएगा 426,375. इसके बाद वी विल हैव 326,885. क्लियर. देन हम आएंगे इनकम. नाउ वी विल कंसिडर 1 CR ओवर है. ओके, उसका टैक्स आएगा 28,125,000. नाउ सरचार्ज विल बी 10% इन दिस केस. क्लियर. 28,125,000. Now total will be 30,93,750. Fine. Now the difference if we will take, that will be 1 lakh and overhead will be 1,75,125. So the difference in tax is higher than income, of course. So difference 75,125 will be my marginal relief in case of optional regime. Okay. We will deduct it from this and we will apply 4% cess on this. So final tax will be 33,21,500 under optional tax regime. If we will find out the same thing under the default tax regime, that will come out like this. On 1 crore 1 lakh rupees, the tax would be 27,30,000. I have told you ना that up to 15 lakh you will take 1.5 lakh rupees tax और उसके ऊपर जितनी वैल्यू है उसका 30%. तो इजीली जल्दी से टैक्स निकल आता है. सरचार्ज 15% लेंगे 409,500. So we will be at 313,950. Now 1 crore rupees we will take. Tax would have been 27 lakh. Surcharge will be 10. 29,70,000. Fine. अब हमें निकालना है डिफरेंस. इधर 1 लाख Either 1,69,500. Difference 69,500. Will deduct it from here. 4% cess. This will be 3192800. Solve. Is it difficult? Lots of practice you will need to do. Just a little practice and just revive the provision. Just learn them properly, that what surcharge rate will be applicable, and I believe that will be really easy for you. Clear? And this chapter, this provision will help almost all questions in which you need to calculate the tax, whether it's chapter number 9 or chapter number 1, they all are integrated, all interconnected. Back to our question. So the option A was correct. Next is MCQ 13. Now the income has been 2 crore 4 lakh rupees. Now again, I will ask you to calculate the tax only as per section 15 BAC. Let me see who can give the answer. Take your time and give me the correct answer. Same provision. There is nothing new. 2 crore 4 lakh rupees. Thirteen का correct answer. Kamalpreet said B. Okay. Anyone else? Anybody? What would be the correct answer of question number 13? The correct answer is correct. That is option B would be the correct answer. I believe you can find it out if you will calculate the tax on 2 crore 4 lakh rupees. Again, as per the same method I have just taught you, you will find out the correct tax. So just you can try it. If you are not able to solve it, tell me in the next class, which is on 28th of September. I will again solve it for you. Fine. Next is, okay, fine. This one need to solve, and there is no marginal relief concept is applicable. So I want you all to solve this. Try this question and solve this question full for me. Total income, Mr. Sudeep Jain, age 60 year. Resident is 9,50,000. Compute tax under both regime, 15 BAC and option. Abhishek is saying 14, current answer is C. Okay. Swati BN is saying the correct answer is C. Absolutely correct. The correct answer is C. Now it's a very simple and easy question. Like we have given income of 9,50,000 and we have to calculate the tax on it. So under default tax regime, up to 9,50,000 on first 3 lakh rupees, tax will be nil. Next 3 lakh rupees, tax will be 15,000. Next 3 lakh rupees, tax will be 30,000. So we have complete up to 9 lakh rupees. On 50,000, the rate will be 15%, that is 7,500. So total tax would have been 52,500. No surcharge will be applicable because income is less than 50 lakh rupees. You need to apply cess, that would have been 2,100. That will be your income, 54,600. No rebate is applicable because income exceeding 7,25,000. Income exceeding 7 lakh rupees. And if we will solve it as per optional method, then up to 250 rupees, 250 lakh, there is no tax. Balance to fifth, that is 12,500. Now we have completed 5 lakh, extra 5 lakh, we have now 4.5 lakh rupees at the rate of 20%, that would be 90,000. So it will be 1,02,500. 500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02,500. 1,02, But remember, because the
Sorry,
age is not here, so we cannot take this because the age is above 60 years. So the limit will be applicable 3 lakh rupees. This is going to be checked in every question. In the flow, what we do, we generally, when we see the question and we apply the optional tax regime or basic default tax regime, in the flow, we take the income like 12,500 rupees limit, or we can take 2.5 lakh rupees. But because age really matters when we solve the question under optional tax regime. So we do not have any tax up to 3 lakh. So now we have tax 10,000. And on this value, we have tax 90,000. So now we have tax of 1 lakh rupees. And cess will be 4%. Total will be 1 lakh 4,000 rupees. So correct answer will be option number C. Okay. Now total income, Mr. Sudeep Jain, age 40 year, resident in India, of course. 16 lakh from salary and house property. You have to calculate tax under both regime, 115 BAC and optional. So kindly calculate and let me know what should be the tax liability in question number 15. Again, it's a simple question, normal tax calculation. Like for 115 BAC, I have told you, it has been given 16 lakh. So up to 15 lakh, tax will be 1.5 lakh. And for balance 1 lakh, it would be 30%. That means 30,000. So tax would be 1 lakh 80,000. Now you need to apply 4% cess. So that would be your income. In case of optional, up to 10 lakh, tax will be 1 lakh 12,500. And balance 6 lakh will be taxable at 30%. That means 1 lakh 80,000. So you can aggregate that and 4% cess will be applicable. So that would be your tax liability. Question number 15, correct answer would be option number B. Well done, Deepa, Bhumika, well done. Total income of Mr. Sudeep Jain, age 59 year, resident is 11,20,000 from salary or house property. You just need to calculate tax under optional tax regime, only optional tax regime. Again, it's very simple. Up to 10 lakh rupees, your tax will be 1,12,500. And upon balance value, you need to apply 30% tax. Then no surcharge, and then there will be 4% cess. So whenever you are applying to calculate tax, always remember to follow this format. First of all, tax, then surcharge and rebate. So if surcharge is applicable, there would be no rebate. If rebate is applicable, there would not be surcharge. Fine. So if there is rebate, we have to deduct it. If there is surcharge, we have to add it. Whatever will be the plus minus, we need to apply the cess upon it. We have separate provision for surcharge under section 15 BAC in case of different income, what we have already gone through today. So that was the MCQs for the session. In the next session, that is day after tomorrow, we will take the MCQ and the agricultural income provision, in which we will find out how to calculate integration, non-integration taxability, etc. We have also MCQ, a lot of MCQ, and before that, we will discuss the agricultural income provision. What is the meaning of agricultural income? What is the integration means? And we will also discuss the rebate provision. There's a very interesting provision under rebate for 115 BAC, because under optional tax regime, the rebate provisions are very easy, in which we know that up to 12,500 rupees or the amount of tax rebate you can avail in case of optional tax regime. But under default tax regime, the rebate concept is slightly different, because we have another subsection which actually provide rebate also when your income exceeding 7 lakh rupees. If there is tax and the difference of amount exceeding your total income 7 lakh, there would have been some amount of rebate availability that we also going to discuss. And in case of integration, how we provide the rebate on the basis of agricultural income or on the basis of non-agricultural income, and when and how that rebate is going to be provided, that is a very interesting provision, what we will discuss in next session. If there is any query, kindly ask me. I will upload these notes. I will also upload the PDF for MCQ. Okay, somebody is asking. So also discuss undisclosed source of income, Nikita Sharma. Okay. In case of undisclosed income, look, in the normal case of income, there is a concept which says that the earning year will be equivalent to your previous year. That means in the year in which you earn the income, that will be your previous year because you are going to pay tax on that income in assessment year. For example, अगर हम सैलरी अर्न करते हैं, if we earn salary in financial year 23-24 and we disclose that salary in assessment year 24-25. So for that salary, my previous year will be 23-24 and my earning year also would be 23-24 because I have disclosed that income. Suppose we have earned salary of 20 lakh rupees. Clear? Out of that 20 lakh rupees salary, what we have earned in previous year, suppose 20-21, I have earned 20 lakh rupees salary in previous year 20-21. Previous year 20-21, I have earned this salary 20 lakh rupees. Clear? Now in assessment year 21-22, I only declared out of this salary income only 16 lakh. I declared as my salary income. Other salary was in cash, so I did not declare that to the income tax department. So I only paid tax in assessment year on this 16 lakh. So for this 16 lakh rupees of income, the earning year will be 20-21 and the previous year also will be 20-21 because I have disclosed that income to the income tax department. Clear? But for those 4 lakh rupees salary, which is my undisclosed income, I did not disclose that income which I have earned. What was the earning year of that income? Same, 20-21. But I did not disclose that income to the income tax department. Now suppose income tax department find my this income in previous year 23-24. Due to some source, they find out that I have earned some income on which I did not pay the tax. So for the purpose of black money cases, earning year would be 20-21, but now previous year will be that year in which income tax will find out that income. So I can say for the purpose of white money, the earning year and the previous year would be same always. Out of that 20 lakh rupees, we have disclosed 16 lakh rupees, that we have earned that 16 lakh rupees in 20-20. So for that 16 lakh, previous year is also 20-21 and earning year also 20-21. But for any undisclosed income which you did not declare in the year in which you have earned it, but now find out by the income tax department by its own. So in the year in which department will find it, that will be the previous year. And the year in which it has been earned will be that earning year. So earning year and previous year will be different in case of undisclosed income. And for white money, the earning year and previous year would be always same in almost cases. But in some case like enhanced compensation, etc., that could be different in capital gain specific cases. But generally, in other cases, earning year and previous year is same in case of white money. And in case of black money or undisclosed source of income, these are different. Clear? So we have some example of those undisclosed income, that is cash credit. What is the meaning of undisclosed income? The income which we did not declare to the income tax department. And when department found it, we would not be able to explain the source and the documents on which we can say that we have paid tax on that income or that income has been already exempted. So if there is any income on which we did not pay tax, on which we should have paid, but we did not pay the tax and we do not have any explanation about the nature or source also. So that income would be considered as black money income. That means undisclosed of income. For example, cash credit under section 68, where any sum is found credited in the books of an assessee in any previous year. So if there is any entry has been found in the books of account and you cannot explain the source that from where this money has been, from where this amount has been come or from where that amount has been earned by you. So if we are not able to explain, it would be treated as undisclosed income. So if any cash entry found in any book, etc., that would be treated as undisclosed income if you are not able to disclose the source of that income. Okay. Then unexplained investment, if you have some investment, but in the books of account, you did not disclose it. But department found that you are the owner of a property of 50 lakh rupees, but you did not disclose that property in your balance sheet, or you do not have the documents which can explain that on that investment, whatever income you have earned, you have paid tax already. So if you are not able to explain the investment or you have not disclosed those investment in your books of accounts, that investment value could be treated as undisclosed income. Unexplained money, if you found the owner of any money, bullion, jewelry. Bullion. There's a word, very interesting word, bullion. So what is the meaning of bullion? Anybody? What is the meaning of bullion? What
Sir,
would
if I am not wrong, it's the gold bricks,
Gold
I
and
think.
silver, sir.
Yes, well done, well done. So it is a unformulated precious metal, correct. So if we converted gold or silver into bangles or rings or necklace, that would be called jewelry. So if that is a brick or it's a coins or in a bulk form, unformulated precious metal, that would be called bullion. Well done. This is what I am saying now. When you read anything, you should know the meaning of each word. There will be multiple students who are just reading bullion. They exactly know that they're going to write it down in the examination also, that money, bullion, jewelry. But might be they do not know the exact meaning of bullion. So that should not be the way of reading any subject. If you know the meaning of each and every word in any sentence, any paragraph, anywhere, I bet on you that the meaning of that sentence or paragraph is actually you are going to understand very easily. And if you do not know the meaning of the words in any paragraph, you will find it very difficult to understand the provision, that what is the meaning of that provision. So always try to understand that whatever you are reading, you should know the meaning of that word. That would really help you to become from an average student to a intelligent student. Okay. So that is our profession. CA is being to be a professional. Professional means expert. We should know what and we should know why. We should know both things. Okay. So if there is any money, bullion, jewelry, you have been found the owner of that jewelry or money is in your possession, and you do not have recorded that in your books of accounts, and you do not have any explanation. Suppose if income tax department officer comes to your house and there is like 2 crore rupees found in your house in a money currency. And if you are saying, this does not belongs to me, this is my relative, Mr. So and so, and he left those amount with me. And department will say, okay, call that Mr. Relative. We will ask, does that income belongs to him? And of course, if you try to call him, maybe even if it is related to him, he might not come and he will say, no, this not belongs to me. So if you're not able to explain from where that money, gold, bullion, jewelry has been there and not recorded in books of account, so that value could be considered as unexplained money. Okay. Amount not fully disclosed, investment you have shown, like property value you have shown in the books of accounts 20 lakh rupees, but the actual value is 50 lakh rupees. So that difference will be treated as your undisclosed income. Unexplained expenditure, if your income earning is 10 lakh rupees and you are spending 15 lakh rupees. So that means extra 5 lakh you are earning from that source which has not been explained by you or on which you have not paid tax. So that could be treated as. So it's a very interesting thing. Income can be considered as unexplained income, but suppose even expenditure can also be treated as your undisclosed income. Because if you are doing some expenditure, that should match with your income. If you're earning 10 lakh, you are expending 50 lakh or 25 lakh rupees. So you have to explain to the department from where you are excess expenditure you are giving to the expenditure you are met with which income. So if you are not able to provide the details regarding that excess expenditure, which is excess your income, that excess expenditure can be treated as your undisclosed income. And the last is amount borrowed or repaid on hundi. So if any amount has been borrowed or repaid on hundi, it should be by bank draft or account pay check. So if any payment has been taken on hundi or repaid via cash or other than account pay check or bank draft, that excess payment would be that amount or payment would be treated as undisclosed income. Clear? So that was the provisions we have discussed. You can go through with the notes. I will upload the notes also, all chart also, and MCQ sheet also. So you can go through that. And I believe this chapter 1 would be more interesting for you now and would be really easy for your examination. I believe, please study hard, take your profession very seriously, and this is going to change your future. So please take care of all of you. If there's any query, you can ask me, or we are going to close this session and we'll see each other day after tomorrow. PDF will be on BOS portal. Man told you that on the BOS knowledge portal, you can go and log in. You will find the notes in the, I guess, notes category. There are classes, virtual classes section on which you can find out the notes also. Anmol, I have already answered this question. You might not be there at that time. So do not ask the same question multiple times. I've already answered this question. Okay. Okay, Bhargav ji, we can close the session, I guess.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.